Greetings, everybody. This is Missymak over Not Out, and today I have got Yvonne Reid with me. Okay, and we're going to just be having a little discussion. This is the first time doing this, so we're having a little discussion, and we're just talking about retirement. Because, as you know, I like to think about those who are 55 plus, and just really encourage people that um, you know, it might be over. Working life may be over, but they're by no means out. So, Yvonne, how are you?
Oh,
You
fine,
want to
thank
introduce
you.
yourself?
Just to say that I'm Yvonne Reid, I'm retired. Um, I used to be a social work manager working in children and families
Maybe speak a bit louder for us.
in the UK, um, and I'm now retired from that job. Okay, and the profession.
Okay, so you've said to us what you were working as, and you've retired from the profession. How long did you do that for?
I did it for approximately 36 to 40 years.
Wow, 36 to 40 years. That is a long time. Um, yes, to be in a profession and then just to leave. So, tell me something. How did you feel when you retired?
Oh, a bit lost because it was early retirement um, as opposed to the normal age retirement.
When you say early retirement, what age?
I think I was 60.
Oh,
60.
right, okay, yes. And as we know, in the UK, retirement age is now 67. So to retire at 60, it is early.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Was there any reason why you retired so early, or?
Yeah, I mean, it partly due to illness, um, but also I did want to retire at that age, but it was speeded up through illness.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't blame you wanting to retire at that age. Sometimes we do think we can go on, and especially if we enjoy the job that we're doing. But sometimes, our health, if we keep on, our health would really suffer because of it. So sometimes it is, quite necessary or advisable to retire earlier if you can, especially if you're working in a stressful environment as Yvonne was, and I myself, because I'm retired, as many of you would know. And yes, I did find working very stressful, very demanding, and it really impacted on your life. I don't know if you found the same thing. It
Yeah, it
impacted on your
did.
life in
It
terms of eating and health and exercise.
it was a really a brilliant job when I first started it, and rewarding. Um, but as time went on, it became more demanding, and um, the department wanted more than what you could actually give, to be quite honest.
Yes.
So I felt that we were doing the work of two people in the end, both myself and the social workers. And I was watching people getting burnt out as well. Um, and it stopped becoming, to me, helping people more as a number crunching. And
Right.
that's the bit that really got to me. Um, and so I feel that if hadn't stopped when I did, um, I would have become a lot more sicker. But it's the illness, because I think also, had I not become sick, I probably would have still carried on like a lot of people have done.
Yes.
And I've watched them all burn out. Um, so one at a time, people have
Yes.
even passed, they've not been able to
Exactly.
enjoy their retirement anyway.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, because I mean, I've heard of people who have retired and then shortly after retiring,
Really.
they pass. Some people pass on the job. So, really and truly, it's just not what we want at all. So, tell me something. When you decided to retire, were there any fears that you had, like worries, concerns regarding maybe, you know, what to do with your time or lack of finance?
I think money um, was one of my fears, because I knew that my income was being drastically reduced. Um, and I think when you're used to spending a certain amount of money, for it to suddenly be cut in half. That's a big difference. So yeah, initially that was a worry, finance, um, and also yeah, what do I do with myself? I've worked since I was 15, so it's like, what do I do with myself? I had all that discipline of work, and suddenly it had all evaporated, and I was having to sort out my own timings for things, and I had the time in the world, and all the things that I thought I'd be able to. Oh yeah, I'd be able to clean the house. I'd be able to do this, do that. Didn't want to do it.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, I think because we've been accustomed to so much structure, everything is structured, the time you get up, the time you have to be at work, and then all of a sudden to find yourself with all this spare time, not having to wake up to an alarm clock or meet any particular deadlines could really, be something that people find difficult. So, since you have retired, tell me, how have you been filling your spare time? Because obviously that was an initial concern, but now I would imagine that you've settled into retirement.
Yeah, I've settled into it. I think, like I said at the beginning, it wasn't easy, but then I was recovering from stress and health issues. Um, but then once I'd retired, I'd say coming up to the second year, um, I started to. Well, I went to Jamaica, I went to the Caribbean, and I was backwards and forward from the Caribbean, spending long, long times there, coming back to the UK. So a lot of it, the first few years, has been travelling backwards and forward, and actually looking at the Caribbean as somewhere as to could I live there? Um, so yeah, it's been backwards and forward, and that's taken. Yeah, that's kind of helped to occupy me. Also traveling, doing doing more things that I would normally have done than what I would normally have done when I was working. A lot more shopping, not necessarily buying anything, but I love retail therapy. Um, so a lot of time spent going around the shops, particularly Primark, and I dare say it. Um, but obviously, being careful about spending, because that's the other thing. You have to pull in the belts when you retire. Money, to be quite honest, hasn't been a major issue for me,
because you thought it was going to be initially.
I thought it was going to, but when I think about it, I'd actually prepared from a long time, years, through saving, through making sure that I was mortgage free, those things. So I'd actually been preparing for it without actually realizing that's what I was doing. And so yeah, I mean, I've had to live on my work pension because I didn't get the government pension straight away. But you can manage. You do manage. Had I had a mortgage, then no.
Yes.
I don't think I would have managed.
You would have managed. I mean, I do think that maybe we need to educate our youngsters and maybe get them at a young age, because I know when I was younger, I didn't think, retirement seems such a long way away. And 60, gosh, I don't even know if the world will still be around when I'm 60, because, I was born in the 19 something, and then we're coming towards 2000, and that just sounded so weird and so unrealistic. And 2000 came and it went, and I got older, and now here I am at retirement. And I think that maybe, I know sometimes not because I didn't listen and our children don't listen, but maybe if we just thought about how maybe doing seminars or things like that can educate them as to what's going to happen, and get them to start thinking and preparing, that might be a good thing. So you wouldn't find yourself in a situation where you're thinking, oh gosh, I want to retire, I can't afford to retire, and things like that. Well, just before we go off, Yvonne, tell me, so you spend your time now traveling and doing different things. Have you got any interests or hobbies that you've taken up?
Well, no, I haven't got any actual hobbies that I've taken up as yet, and but I do. I'm a Buddhist, and I've been a Buddhist for as long as I was a social worker, 40 odd years,
Right.
and I do lots of activities. When I say lots of activities, I'm very involved in the faith and meetings and um, visiting people. So my that takes up time as well, and yeah, and I find it, that does help as well. It really does, because it grounds me, helps to ground me. Um, but there are things that I am thinking about doing. Um, some of it was related to maybe doing some voluntary work um, within the social care uh, network, i.e., working with young people maybe. But I haven't got around to doing that yet, because I'm still, like I said, I'm still doing a lot of throwing and throwing. So eventually, I'm hoping that I will be able to do something.
Right. Okay, well, Yvonne, this is my first recorded interview, and I'd just like to thank you very much for, being here with me today and doing, answering my questions. I hope that for those of you maybe who have approached retirement age and are a bit concerned, I mean, I was a person that was a bit concerned about reaching 60, about retiring, and all those things, because you do look at it, well, I did look at it as a way of, oh my gosh, I'm not needed anymore and things like that. I can't just go and get a job somewhere and, those sort of things because of age. But it's just really good to see that there are people out there, and this is what I want to do, maybe interview a few more people who have retired. If I can't see them direct, maybe on Zoom, and just share them with you
Well, I do
guys.
have a lot of friends who are retired. That's the
Okay,
other
so
thing.
you've got
And I don't. I noticed that they're not bored actually.
right.
And the one thing that I'm hearing a lot of friends say is, "No, I don't want to go back out to work." They're actually saying it. They don't want to
Yes.
go back out to work.
Well, I tell you, I don't want to go back out to work. I've only just recently retired this year. Not this year, because we're in a new year. Last year summer. And even though sometimes, yes, you think about finance and those sort of things, but you know what? Going back out to work is not an option for me. I did think it was impacting my health. So I'm really glad to have finished.
But I don't think you can just sit at home watching TV.
No,
That's
I don't do that at
definitely
all.
not, because-
Hence, why we're doing this interview and why we're doing
Yeah.
things like this.
Yeah.
Why I've started this YouTube channel, hopefully to encourage other people. Anyway, Yvonne, I must say thank you once again. It's been a pleasure having this discussion, and I hope that you guys find it useful. So, do like and share and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you again. I do my walks, as you know, and I also do my thoughts and shorts. So do tune in for those on a Monday. You take care, stay blessed, and don't let anybody steal your joy. This is Missymak, over, not out.